How do you measure success? Is it how many books you sold? How much social media following you have? Or is it just pure luck? Welcome to What's the Story? And today, I kind of wanted to talk about success and what that means. And I have been asked a couple questions about how many books I sold. Is it really hard to get started? And what does it take to be successful? So, one of the things to be successful is to get out there. Once you write a book, you're doing it in seclusion where you're all alone. It's just you and your thoughts, and you're creating a story. And then you find somebody to help you design your cover and to format it and make the book. And if you're not with a publisher who's going to, market it or do all that, there's a lot that you have to do yourself. And even when you are with a publisher, you still have to market yourself. You still have to be out there. So what I did was I started with a local library, and I had my first book signing, and I was petrified. I didn't know how it was going to go. I didn't know anything about it. I looked it up to see what you do for a book signing. I had my bookmarks, I had my pen ready. I had no clue. And when I went to the library, and I was pleasantly surprised that people did show up and they asked me a lot of questions about my writing. And so to me, that felt like success. So my book came out in September, and that book signing was in October. And I kind of laid low for the winter. It wasn't until that spring that I decided to do another book signing in another bookstore. Now, at this point, I knew no authors. I literally knew nobody. That's when the very first author that I ever met walked in. And her name is Barbara Fournier, and she's been a very good friend of mine ever since. She showed me the ropes. She told me a lot of things about the author life. She gave me contacts to go to a book festival up north, and you should go here, and you should call these people. So she was extremely helpful, and I got to meet a lot of other authors, but it started with her. She was the seed in my author journey to get out there. That, to me, was a great measure of success. Did I make a lot of money? No, I did not make a lot of money, sold a few books, but I felt successful. Social media following. Now that was another hurdle I had to get through. I had to learn how to do videos like this and feel comfortable, which I do. I feel much more comfortable talking like this because basically I'm in a room here and there's nobody here. So I kind of could be talking to myself. Maybe it's a little kooky and weird, but, and I know a lot of people are going to see this. Is my social media, do I have thousands of people? No. I think I have, 200 people on Facebook. Maybe I got close to 200 people on Instagram, maybe a little over 200 people on TikTok. I'm happy that I have followers. I thank all my followers and people who interacted with me and people who have asked me questions. I am so thankful for that. That, my friends, is a measure of success. So another question that I have been asked is, if someone wants to get started as an author, what tips do you have for them? Well, I might have covered a few of those tips, but one of the biggest ones I would say is just get started. And I know how daunting it is to stare at the white blank page. I have done it myself. So I wrote this once in my blog, which is called The Blank White Page. I sat at my desktop computer one day staring at the blank white page. I could hear the rain pounding at the window. My mood was somber. There was no place to be other than to stare at the blank white page. The world had shut down. My business as a hairstylist ceased to exist. A pandemic made sure of that. I needed to start fresh. I needed to do something new, something I always thought about doing. It was then that the blank white page was no longer blank at all. And that's what it took. Maybe just some traumatic life experience pushes you towards writing, or you just are filled with stories that are dying to get out. So I would say to somebody who wants to start writing, just look at the blank white page. You won't believe what will happen in the end. You may very well have a complete manuscript. And if you really want to measure that success, maybe one day you'll publish it and you'll be a best-selling author. Now that's the dream of every author. So you never know. You just may find that lucky pot of gold. And that's all I have for this week. I thank you for the questions. Keep them coming. And until next time, take care.